Hi, it's Leslie. Married at first sight. I don't know what happened. Mindy and Miguel, they were on Easy Street. They were the couple to beat. And within 1 week, it all just started to crumble. So the couples went off. It was supposed to be a nice weekend retreat. You know, all the couples were meeting there to have a happy time to kind of seal the deal and finish it up before decision day, which I guess is in like 9, 10, 11 days, something like that. And it all went south with Lindy wanting to get a picture. Friggin' social media, the root of all evil. Going to be the decline of their marriage, and it all started here.
Okay, get a picture of me looking out this window. Don't do a selfie because you have to get the good bit. Babe, come on, not a selfie. You're making me mad.
Why?
Because I want the good quality ones. No, come on.
Alright. But I don't appreciate that tone, I'll tell you that. Do a better job of reading the room. Like, don't expect me to be your personal photographer.
I have to say, after that clip, I was kind of on Miguel's side. I was like, he's entitled to just whatever, and he felt she was a little forceful and all the things, but had it stopped right there and that be the only issue, I would have sided with Miguel, but he became a nut job. We talk about who has issues. They say Lindy is the one to watch out for, that she can be explosive and go from 0 to 10 all quickly. Miguel's hiding some issues too, and this weekend we saw a whole host of them. Anyway, before I get into all this, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. So that poem just started off the fighting for Miguel and Lindy. But one of the big reasons they were at this weekend was they were going to have a prom for Lindy, who went to a school where they didn't get to go to dances and things like that. So all the couples came out in all their gorgeous gowns and beautiful dapper clothes for the prom. So Lindy and Miguel seemed to take a little break from their ongoing fight and had a good time at the prom. Kristen is now 100% Kristen, totally unfiltered. I think she said, you know what, let the cards fall where they will. I'm being myself. If Mitch likes it, terrific. If he doesn't, that's fine too. I'm doing me. And she was just full on Kristen. I like her much better like this. She was fun. You could tell she was in her element. She voted herself most likely to have multiple divorces. Mitch didn't find that too funny, but she's like, hey, I'm throwing it out there. This is me. You know, it might work, it might not. And I'm going to keep it moving and find love, whatever it has to take. So they had the prom, but Lindy and Miguel quickly got back into their fighting mode, and Lindy continued to get upset as Miguel just kept pressing her, and it was almost like he was just pushing to try to see if he could make her blow. Like, let's see if we can get this girl off the rails. Like, he would ride her until she would burst and cry, and then he would kind of reel her back in, calm her down, and go back right at it again. But on a funnier note for Lindy, I feel she should have won most committed to a fashion trend, and that fashion trend being overalls, because if you've noticed, she is wearing overalls almost 99% of the time. She did sport a gown for this occasion, but I think went right back into the overalls when it ended. Let's just go on to Alexis and Justin, and they finally had sex. They made it happen. Alexis said she wanted to make it happen before the 8 weeks were up, and they got it done. Unfortunately for Justin, he thought it was wonderful. He thought it was making love. When the girls kind of questioned Alexis about it, she was less than favorable, was kind of like, well, he's got a lot of other great qualities. And I was like, ooh, ouch. But anyway, I guess it wasn't all she had hoped for, but Justin felt differently. He thought it was all he hoped for. And then one thing I have to say here is this has to be, and someone please comment if I'm wrong, but this is a married at first sight record. We have 5 couples, and I think 4 of them have had sex before the 8 weeks is up. I mean, thinking back, I can't think of anybody else. This is the most they've ever had. I mean, if there's ever been a 5 for 5, I don't remember that season. But comment below if I don't even know of another 4 for 4 out of 5. But anyway, back to the drama. The odd thing about Alexis and Justin, they seem much more on track. Now they're back in the running. I thought they were all but done. They're back in the running, but it was weird that Alexis kind of felt like the magic of sex, of having sex with her, would calm all the issues and everything would be easy street. But Justin was not quite there with that. He's still worried about her quitting. He doesn't know if he has enough time to do all he needs to do to have this, you know, so it was left very uncertain, and it was kind of perplexing to Alexis because she really felt like that would solve everything, and it definitely hasn't for Justin. So they're still in a weird spot, but they seem in a much better spot than they were a week ago. Now we'll go on to Kristen and Mitch. I mean, something has triggered in Kristen. She's like, I'm done with this. I'm being me. Now Mitch calls her Chris, I know, so That's cute. But, you know, she feels she's got these compliments out of Mitch that she was looking for, although when I was watching it, almost like he got them out, and before he could say but, she cut him off and said, thank you, I've been waiting to hear that for 8 weeks now. And that was that, and she was happy, but she has also said that she's on the bubble now. She doesn't know if he is the right guy for her, so we will, there, jumped onto the bubble there. And now to our most enviable couple, that is Nate and Stasha, kind of flying under the radar. They're on Easy Street. They seem to be doing everything great. The only question I have here is, why the need for so many sex toys? You've known each other 8 weeks. This should be when nothing is needed to make it exciting. Just being in their presence should be exciting. That's very odd to me that there's so much equipment needed to, you know, but to each their own. But I will say Nate should get best dressed because he always looks snazzy. I'm sure Stasha has something to do with it. I mean, they showed up at the meeting color coordinated, and that's always a sign when a couple's right on track. You know, they color coordinate the outfits. They looked great. So let's now go back to Lindy and Miguel where we left off, and they're still fighting. They're still fighting. So now they're on a carriage ride, which should be a romantic kind of event for most people, I would guess. And it was beautiful, and Lindy was taking in the scenery, and Miguel picked this occasion to spat out some of his poetry. And of course, Lindy was very distracted. She is just like my dog. When she sees squirrel, that's all she can see is squirrel, and everything else goes out of her mind. But I guess Miguel was quite insulted again, yet again, because he says she's not fully engaged. She is not listening to him. She talks on top of him. She interrupts, all the things. I don't know if a poetry reading on a carriage ride outside was the best place for that to happen. He could have picked a different location, maybe with less distraction so you could focus. But that being said, that sent him off again, and another fight ensued. Lindy was left crying again. And this is just crazy to me. Wasn't it last week that they were both in love? I mean, shouldn't being in love like kind of carry, like that's that magical thing that, you know, you get, anything happens, you're in love, like you can roll with it. But he didn't have any of that feeling for some reason this weekend. Lindy's starting to feel like she's just not enough. Like whatever she does is wrong. She's trying to correct things. It was a little nauseating to see her, you know, wanting to change herself so much, which I just feel was just awful. And that's never something that's going to sustain. So Miguel shockingly now says he might get to a point where he just can't take this anymore. And rightfully so. Lindy has been pushed all over the chart emotionally that she feels she's going to lose it soon. And I wouldn't blame her. I don't know. This was a rough one. Another week, another shift in the standings. I mean, more people on the bubble, people that look like they were a wrap are back in the game. So we have to wait till next week. But anyway, if you liked my recap, I will be here next week again. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell and comment below of anything I might have missed or your insights for this episode. And I will see you next time. Bye.